So we go to Bloemfontein, we meet up in Bloemfontein, go to the BBS, and yeah, we go for BBSs and we go for every meeting that Herbalife has. So yeah, and the most important thing, and for me and my team right now, is for us to build our own personal development. I've been working on my own personal development, and I realized that it was the most important thing if you wanted to succeed in this business. So I've been reading books, I've been listening to a lot of Jim Rohn and Matt Hughes, and I am actually channeling my team towards that as well, because the only thing that keeps us not doing 500 or not growing in this business is the way we think. So if I could crack that and I could help my team with their own personal development, I believe that we are going to do amazing, because honestly, this is an amazing opportunity for us. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me and my story. Thank you.
Nandi, thank you so much. I mean, this is just incredible. Some key points I got. It's your excitement. It's your commitment. You know, that commitment is such a huge, huge word. And with you, in your journey, you committed to being on the 500 volume point call, PPV call every month. And then it's the events, guys. You know, I can't tell you, I mean, even in my journey, I was like a couple of months in the business. My sponsor said, get to Los Angeles, see the big event. And that's what got me to the Get Team in Line. It's the events, guys. So Nandi got that at the Leadership Development Weekend, and that's been her focus for the month of April. So I'm just so proud, so impressed that to do 5K, I mean, your first time qualifier in the month of April. It's so exciting to believe that. I mean, absolutely incredible. So incredible. So, guys, for me, I have the honor tonight of introducing somebody who I would actually say has probably got the biggest heart in Herbalife. And Susara, I don't even know if you remember this, but I had a supervisor first line to me. We had a good relationship. She was all the way in Palabora, and she moved to Bloemfontein, and she didn't know anybody. And I'm going to mention her name now. Her name's Ursula Duquia. And she said to me, do you remember her? And so this is not in our organization. This is where we actually talk. This lady embraces the Herbalife family and everybody. It doesn't matter whose organization you're in. And I reached out to Susara. Do you know that she had Ursula in her home with her team meeting? She trained her. I mean, that is just absolutely incredible. But not only is Susara the lady with the heart, she's done 1 million volume
recording
points.
stopped.
She's got 1 million. Why are we stopping the recording, Lauren? Very important. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, cool. So she's got right there. So nobody record the call. She's got 1 million volume points. I mean, in her own ID. Do you know what an achievement that is? She's just this week or last week got her 20-year PIN, which is platinum and diamonds. I mean, that's just absolutely phenomenal. So been around for forever. And I just have the greatest honor, the privilege. I'm so excited. She's the #1 volume producer recognized at the Leadership Development Weekend, this last one, for the whole of Southern Africa. Has done the most. That in itself is we all need to be ready, prepped, and to learn from this incredible lady. So without further ado, you know the virtual wave. You must stand up. Huge welcome, international millionaire 7.5, Susara and Marco Prinloo.
Oh, easy. Thank you. Hello, family. You are Herbalife family. Hello, Tony. Wow. Yes, wow. For us, it's like being in the house of everyone we love. Nandi, congratulations. I got to hug this beautiful woman, threw her in the deep end in Bloemfontein, and she swam like a dolphin, jumped out and did hoops, and there you are, Nandi. Congratulations. And just a huge thank you from our side to all of you for inviting us into your homes, and the invitation. Disclaimer before we start is there's a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old roaming the hallways of our house. It is a bedtime, but for anyone who's got pets or kids, you do know that they know when they're supposed to not make a noise. So it's our disclaimer number 1. And then disclaimer number 2, English is both our second language. We do use it as a defense mechanism sometimes, but here we are. We're going to give it our best. And welcome to each and everyone.
Third disclaimer. I might have to pop out every now and again to go check on the kids.
So congratulations to each and everyone who's here for the very first time. It's lovely to see all the faces that we know, and we had a good giggle. If you want the extra special training, get on the organizing committee of these calls or events. It's incredible. You really get some extra nuggets there. But for the first time qualifiers, you may or may not have heard our story, and even some of you have been here for a while. So we're going to just start tonight by sharing some of our story. And for those of you who do not yet know the pillar next to me, and then we're going to share a little bit about how our upline, Brett and Kelly Yateman, Executive 30K President's team, have taught us a lot, and what we've discovered for ourselves in this journey. And then we're going to share what we believe is a tool for all of us to take our businesses to where we've never, ever thought it will go. So without, no, that's not, is that what we want to share? No, we want to go right up to the, right, hold on one second. This is, you can do this business without actually knowing how to work a computer. So if you're brand new, even a computer tech can make a mess of a slideshow, and we can still do this the right way around. So here we go. That's us. Can you see it? Can somebody confirm that you can see our share? No. There we go. Anyone, can you see our share? Anyone? Can somebody unmute them?
We can see it. We can see it, Susara.
Perfect. Thank you. So this was us before COVID, BC. We used to travel quite a lot with our kiddies. For those of you who have a family, for us in Herbalife, travel and family time and just being with the kiddies, that was for us, and still is, something that we live and breathe by. And we always start with this because those words for us is what we found thanks to the opportunity. And this is us currently living, this is our gym, and this is how we live every day. This is our daily routine. And we want to share this because probably some of the newer people think when you reach a certain level, you don't do certain things. But from our side, we really want to say that this is the reason for everything we're going to talk about tonight, is we actually document our journey almost every day. I had to clean up my phone today of many, many photos and videos, but this is us. And for us, this is a gift Herbalife gave us, is to actually be together. I'll tell a little bit more about that later. And this I just put together, slammed together this afternoon. This is us now, currently. You know, sometimes we think, oh, but we're not traveling. So what is there? Well, there is the opportunity for us to both be very quiet. We had a long weekend next to the river this weekend, or be very adventurous, and we can afford a life with our children. We can stand for what we believe in. We can put the family first. We can have our friendship as a couple, which is a rarity sometimes, and have friendships and the freedom. Our family stands for collecting memories, not so much things, although the things are really nice. And something that we've learned, and this is a gift we really want to share with all of you tonight, is we all can be very tough on ourselves, but it usually is stressful when we aim to be perfect. You can just see, we just had a blooper with the screen sharing. We aim to live in excellence every day. And because we aim for that, and we are not trying to be the perfect humans, we actually are relatable to people out there. Our children walk around in onesies. Yes, they do. We have pajama days over weekends. it's real. And we're not scared to show that. But in that, while keeping our humor, we aim to live in excellence, which is an attitude. And when you have that in the Herbalife business, you will never settle for less than your best. This is currently Marcus still in his it's not his pajamas. The two men just came back from karate, but we can afford for our children a lifestyle of extramurals. We can afford great schools, and we can afford memories that each memory actually has a price tag. And this is a gift that we are grateful for the Herbalife business. But it wasn't always like that. This is me in my 20s. And this is the reason why we sit here tonight. Is in my 20s, I was always on some kind of diet. And it got to the point in a corporate environment, I neglected myself, I neglected my health. And I got to a point where I had to actually make some decisions. And I resigned from a very good corporate job, gave back the company car, walked out of the corner office, and said goodbye to the secretary, and she had the fancy computer. And I left on my savings, and I started using the Herbalife products, even though I knew about the business for 18 months. I never did the business. But 18 months after I actually signed into the business, when I started using these products, I started getting results. And that is where everything changed. This is me now. Funny enough, that dress is older than me, I think. It was my mom's dress. I actually wore this in the Cape Town LDW. But now I'm 49 years old, and I can't believe the way I feel every day. So yes, we are here for a business call, but everything actually starts with a true, extremely deep love, passion, and loyalty to the products. This is Marco, and he's going to introduce himself.
Good evening, all. So I'm the other half of the better half of our dual 20-year, I'm not 20 years, but anyway, I started off with a business, not because I was overweight, because I was underweight. And one day I walked into the room, into a house, still dating Susara, expecting a nice kiss, and I had my first shake, and she said, have this and it will change your life. Well, I had nothing else to lose except for her. So I had my first shake that day. And not long after that, I started feeling much more energy. I could sleep much better. And I started off with the business as well, because one day I had to call her to give her the very bad news, to say, I've just lost my job. She was ecstatic about it. And I said, well, didn't you hear me? I've just lost my job. And she said, now you can do Herbalife business with me. I didn't believe her. I didn't believe the business opportunity, but once again, I had nothing else to lose except for her. And I started off with business with her. And since that day, we've never looked back.
And interesting, Isabel, you mentioned it earlier. It was in 2013 that Marco came into the business, which I had built up to almost get 2.5 in my first 11 years. And in the last just over 8 years, we could actually transform our lives completely, thanks to the philosophy of this call that you're on, the 500 and duplication thereof. So just going back to my story, I started without a car in 2003 October, and after my first BBS, it was called the STS in the old days, I walked out of there and I knew this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life. It's a decision before you see the pin. It's a decision before you see the money. It's a decision. I didn't have the car anymore. I didn't have the computer, the corner office, or the cell phone paid by a company. I had a pay-as-you-go cell phone, and I had to, yes, wait for this, hire my father's car, and I had an accident on the first day of my business. So my first goal was to actually prove a point to myself and to all the naysayers. And I made a goal that in my first 2 years to achieve the Get Team level and to get a car and to buy property. And yes, what you decide and put down actually does come true. So at the top, you see my little silver bullet. It's my minute little first car that I could get within a few months after starting the business. Disclaimer, hard work. And my very first property I owned that I could actually purchase within 2 years from starting the business. I started when I was 30. So at age 32, I was a homeowner. And then finally, about 2 years after I became a Get Team member, thanks Debbie Reed Schultz, she said, you can't do the business without a computer. But I was already a Get Team member, and then finally I got a computer. But I went to the global expansion team in 18 months, and then something happened. And I want to just stop here for a moment, because there's a learning and a teaching in this. Sure. When I took my eye off my goals and dreams, and I became comfortable at the Get Team, I lost focus. And shortly after that, we had a personal tragedy in our family. That's my late brother. It's been a while, almost 15 years now. We lost him in a helicopter accident, and it was a sunny Friday afternoon, and he just didn't see the sun set that night. And it affected me very deeply. We were very close. And praise God for this business. I could go through my personal moments and not build for many years, and actually have a comfortable Get Team check, and the business ticked over. But I had no more dreams at that time to grow. I was maintaining and sustaining with a big, strong customer base and a strong Get Team organization. And then at age 40, I got, as a 40th birthday present, a pregnancy for the first time. And it was an awesome, life-changing moment, and an awesome moment to have life dreams, because now there was future life coming. And then I had to make another choice to build. About 9 weeks into the pregnancy, the biological father decided to go his separate ways, and I had another choice to make. But this time I was ready, because I knew the moment of staring into probably being a single mom, raising a child alone, I was emotionally a little bit stressed, maximally stressed for that. But I was never once stressed about my finances, because this company, this opportunity, I knew what to go and do. So tonight, we really just want to show you that what happened with us is possible for anyone. So there we go. That is the little boy that popped out at the top there, Ruben, that he was 2 days old there at the top photo. But Marco walked in to my life. He was a friend from childhood. We completely lost contact for 19 years. And then he popped back in the way things work out when I was pregnant. And I was quite allergic to men at that time. And then finally, when I was 7 months pregnant, he said to me, he's not going to go away. He is going to stay. And he wants to be part of this future with that little boy. And I gave him an ultimatum: you will use the products or close the front door. I really, truly did, because I love what Herbalife stands for. And everyone that I care for are on these products non-negotiable. So Marco entered. He didn't have a choice. And yes, he did lose his job 1 week after we actually started our relationship. So you can imagine, I was almost 8 months pregnant, fresh new relationship, and he loses a big income. And that is why he said, I just said, then you will do this with me. So moving on 2 years, we had the most beautiful day of our lives. We got married, and true spot, age 44 comes Samuel. And to summarize Samuel, he keeps us humble, keeps us praying, and he is like a blender at top speed without the lid. So that is our little family. And thanks to this business, we can be together. And thanks to everything that we are going to share with you, you can do whatever you want with this business. But for us, the thing that we want to share through our story is personal tragedies. It can set us back outside Herbalife. But in Herbalife, the thing that stayed consistent for 20 years of my life and 9 years for Marco's life, beside all our personal life things that go on every day, especially in the last 2 years, is the consistency of the company delivering the products that can help us cope with whatever's going on, and the opportunity to change our finances. And through our story, Tony Pinero, please don't get nervous. We are a busy family. We are upside down sometimes, but we can afford with our kids things that other people dream of. I realized today that we are actually living a life people see on television or read in books. And we want to stop there and just tell you why we are so passionate about this thing called the 500 Club that we are on now, and the recognition call that we are on. The big thing for us is when Brett and Kelly started teaching us the philosophy of 500, I got nervous. I got nervous. Anyone who's been in the business for a longer time will understand we grew up in the business with these huge volumes that we heard of, 4,000 volume points to become supervisor, and you never miss this, and you never, and then suddenly somebody says 500 ppv, and everything in my brain, I was scrambled enough, personal life wise. So somewhere there was an opening to listen. But when Marco came into my life, as well as a new life, and he lost an income, it created in us the desire to say we are brand new. It created in us a teachability spirit. And that is something we can truly testify. Teachability is a big thing. It's a very big thing. Yes, we can all work hard. And yes, 500 Club is an activity recognition. But Marco and I discovered something, and probably that is what caused last year that we had momentum in our personal volume. So Marco will share with you how we see the 500 Club, because most people only ever talk volume, the volume of 500. But when we clicked what we're going to share with you now, we believe a lot of you are going to say, got it tonight.
We start off not with the philosophy, but our vision. And we looked at each other and we said, what is our vision? 500 volume points is not our vision. Let's take it back a bit. So our vision is to have, I'm sorry, she's closing the page that I need to read. So we need to set a goal for ourselves in 2022, not just go into it all blindfolded, but we must have a vision. So what is our vision? Our vision for this year was to have 100 PCX members eating 100 volume points per month. That was our vision, number one. Number two is to create 10 new first-line supervisors for this year as well.
So the reason why we share this with you first is we understood that we can't start with how. How do you do big volumes? How do you do 500? We have to start with why would you? Why would you get up? Why would you go out and achieve something? Because life is going to come and clap us all from right here, just around the blind spot right there. We had 2 of those in our personal family life just in the last 24 hours. And the thing is, when life gets you right there and you don't see it coming, you need to know why you will get up from the ground. So you can't start with volume points and this. In our life, we start with why. And the why becomes the vision, the reason. A why is a reason. So our why is life stuff. We've got very small kiddies, plus Marco has the most gorgeous daughter who just got the most gorgeous new product results, who's a second-year university student. And we also got the bull of the university today. So that's a brand new vision, is to, wow, school fees for the 2 kiddies are paid, but we have a young family at an age where our friends are all grandparents. So we've got a very big why we should be getting up and working double time. We can't sit and have low standards. There's a gentleman called Des Walsh. Some of you on the call will know he was the president of Herbalife for a very long time, and he's got an 8-pack, not a 6-pack muscles. You know, he's got an 8-pack. And he once stood on stage in South Africa a few years ago, and he said, true leaders set a very high standard for themselves and refuse to go below it. And that is what we adopted for ourselves. So yes, 500 Club is 500 Club, but it's not 500 for us, because we've got a life to afford, kids to raise, and a legacy to leave. So our gift from us to you would be, do you have your dream board in place? Do you actually know why you want to work? Or are you only working for the 500? Because there's a difference of conversation. And what Marcus shares about the PCX, we're going to share a little bit later, but the 100 times 100, imagine if you can just switch that around in your mind and say 100 households eating 100 volume points a month. That's our vision. Is we're not busy with 500 Club a month. We are busy creating 100 households eating 100 volume points a month. That's not even a full stamp program. It's from your side, it's shake, LOT, and one other product. It's not even the full big 5 stamp range. And we are so busy working on that we are not focusing on 500. We are focusing on how many times can we achieve 500 every month. And the reason why we want to have 100 households eating 100 points, Isabel shared it, is we know our life goals asks of us to create 10 new first-line supervisors a year. And the only way to create 10 new first-line supervisors is to actually do the basics and repeat the basics and then teach the basics. Now, the basics, the small building block is called
500.
500. It's a building block of whatever house we are all building, but you need to know your house. So I really want to encourage you from our deepest hearts. You know, when Marco redid our dream board, we both got a very serious fright, because we sort of built a village in our mind's eye, and we are still on the first building, on the front wall.
But we do have it.
But we do have it. So it scares us enough to go to work. Now, about 500 Club, how do we approach it for ourselves? Marco can share with you about our philosophy on the actual activity.
That's to have our first 500 volume points done within the first 3 days of the new month. Why? So we can achieve the next one and teach it to the rest as well. That 500 ppv for ourselves is our own use, our sample use, and of course, whatever we need after that as well. We consume much more than 500 volume points ourselves per month. So first achieve it, do it again, and teach it.
Absolutely. We don't advertise, we don't have advertising campaigns. We believe our bodies are our business. So what we do is we invest in products in the beginning of the month, and it has to hurt the pocket for us. It has to. We have to feel it, upfront decision, and we have to sample it out. It needs to go to the teachers. It needs to go to the karate sensei who just had a very poor health report. And we are not scared of saying you really need the product, because we actually believe people do need the product. We are not trying to sell. When somebody's not feeding well, I will take them 2 sticks of Procore. I actually take out all the other sticks of the Procore, and I'll keep it in the house for me, and I'll leave 2 sticks in the box, and I give people the whole box so that they can go and read the label on their own accord. The products will speak to them, and they can read the label, and they will feel better. And we don't speak if products aren't going into people's bodies. For us, it's the best way to explain the products is not to give a training, is to say, have this while I show you what we do. And something that personally I learned from a legend in the business, Gillian Warner, just when I started in the business. The company warehouse was still in Kyalami in Joburg. I walked in after my first BBS, 2 days after my first BBS, and she looked at me. She said, "You're new, aren't you?" And I'm like, and she said, "Do you want to do well in the business?" I went like a little doggy in the back of a car moving forward. And she said, "Here's a tip for you. the month is never over until 12 o'clock midnight, on the night that the company says it's over. And from my heart to your heart, I really want to encourage you, never finish a month before the company says it's done. It's a mindset that I have, because you never know if you start holding back because you've done, the proverbial, I've done my 500, I've done my 2.5. You're not thinking vision, you're thinking volume. And we should not be thinking volume. We should be walking, crawling, leopard crawling, rolling, resting, rolling, running, walking, driving a car towards our goals. We should be pulled by vision. The moment we feel stressed, the moment we start talking volume to each other, we know we haven't looked at our vision board. We know that we are working volume, not vision. And it changes our energy, our fun levels, everything goes downhill. And so we work until 12 o'clock midnight. You will find us up. Sometimes we pass out, but we aim to work until 12 o'clock midnight. And yes, we have not completed 500 until, when was the first day of the month? Yesterday. Yesterday morning, we got up, we placed our usage for the month, we placed our sampling, we bought products for Nikita, and we are ready now to take on the month. The second thing is we always have products on hand. So we always top up our local retail. For us, it's a business decision. For us, we were taught that if we don't have products in our house, we're going to struggle to get customers.
And of course, if you do have products in your house, you want to get rid of them.
Yes, fast, because it's double the money. So it's a philosophy, it's a retail philosophy that we have, is people loving the product is what gives the income. And then, like we said, we don't talk, we want to do 500. We loved the recognition tonight, congratulating people who have 500 qualifiers in their volume, because that's what it's about. It's doing the minimum, repeating the minimum, and duplicating the minimum gives the big. And for us, that is what's needed for us to create the first line supervisors. So last year, we actually, after LDW, we created our last first line supervisor in a stint of 12 months, which was 7 for the year. So we miserably failed our own goal. Other people say, wow, you did 7. But if you have standards for yourself, you're not going to vibe, you're not going to energy at what other people set for themselves. Have an attitude that will satisfy your worth. So for us, 10 in the year, we got 70% of it. But we want to share with you how we did that. And it was something personally I shared at the LDW. And Marco put the presentation together for us. And so I represented both of us at the LDW. But it's regarding PCX. People sometimes have a little bit of a confusion. What is it? Where does it fit in? And we immediately got this. And it has changed our personal volume levels tremendously, because if somebody only wants to use the products at a discount and they don't want to do the business, but we keep on talking to them as if we want to do business, we actually scare people away. But I was a customer first, actually. I just wanted to use the products at a discount. And then I actually turned out into quite a right Herbalife distributor. So for us, we understand it's customers, PCX is customers who they can enjoy discount levels with their own Herbalife ID number, which saves you time. And with the new marathons, we enjoy inviting people to enjoy the products at a discount in a community in 10-day stints. And we understand that they're not yet ready to trade. So for us, it really helps us to reach that 100 goal. And we can now easily track, because we can pull a report of PCX, and we understand they are only just customers. So in the past, we would say, I've got all these distributors and they're not doing the business. Now we say we've got so many PCX towards our goal of 100 for the year. And yes, PCX orders count as retail profit, and it is paid on the 16th. So when we grow our PCX volumes, we actually grow our check. And that helps us to get really excited when the 15th arrive. Our customers save money because they actually save courier costs. They enjoy the discount. They actually order more, so they get more results, and their love and their loyalty grow, and they refer more people to us. And then, of course, future possibility in royalty. And this is where our 7 first-line supervisors, Truce Bob, Jim Rohn was right. Out of every 10, you will find 2 that are business builders. And those 7 were in the 8 that are not. They are discount customers loving the products at 50%, because families end up actually doing the business out of a distributor point of view, not trading, but eating to 50%. So how to build your PCX is to just, instead of thinking my people are doing nothing or my customer is not eating all the products, invite people when they love the product to upgrade. We don't say, I'll give you a discount, because that's down talk. We are working very hard. Jim Rohn talks about don't just speak, but use, communicate effectively. So we are working on ourselves, and our philosophy is to talk up and to invite people to actually promote themselves to the PCX. Current distributors, sorry, can I have some water, please? Current distributors, we invite to click over for free. And our new people, we invite them to upgrade themselves to, sorry, you just take a sip. There we go. To actually upgrade themselves. And for us, we want to give our PCXs an experience. We want to be the X. It's corny, I know, but you know, the X factor is we are better at sharing our journey because we are our own best customers. And when people see that we are customers, they actually start sharing with us how they're doing it. We are very friendly and patient with PCXs. We really go the extra mile because they are customers. The fact that a customer goes online to order their own products, we actually celebrate them for that. We teach them very patiently to place their orders, very patiently. And we build trust relationships because they are a customer. So we are actually interested in their family life. We are interested in the dog that got hurt or run over. And we invite them to our marathons, which is our customer orientated and distributors, but that is a safe space. It's a community that's fun loving. We invite them to sampling days, shake parties, that's eating orientated, and any and all progress. Even if they are just waking up feeling happier, we celebrate. And it is possible that your PCXs, which will fall into your PPV, that they can flick over to become a distributor, but some will stay at PCX. And we are comfortable to end up with 100 PCX, 100 households eating 100 points, because that will be part of our personal volume and part of our wholesale. And that actually, when we understood that we can actually create our check because of PCX, we can grow an incredible wholesale check. Well, it's retail profit, but it comes with a wholesale check. It is just so freeing for us because we have happy customers. We invite them to become PCX. When we see there are these hints that show us that a PCX may be ready to become a distributor, they start referring customers. They start eating more than 300 points a month. Then we start saying to them, do you know what? Have you ever considered growing into a 50% discount customer so then we invite them to refer friends, be a distributor, and we start teaching about 500 Club. When people are really excited, they attract people, and we start the distributor conversation. And of course, we keep our eyes and our ears open for when people are dissatisfied and start becoming willing to do something about it. And some people just start saying, I want to help my father, my sister, my brother. And the moment people say that, we know that we can invite them to actually become a distributor. So if you've got a customer that is happy with the products, we personally don't, yes, it's a new member in your first line, but we don't see it as recruiting. We see it as a customer care upgrade. And once we change our thought patterns on this, and it's taken stress off us to try and develop somebody too fast. And for us, it's all about the love for the product. You will never just hear us talk training. We always come back to the loving of the product. We have split our communication. We've got our PCX communication, which mainly is, how are you doing? There's a small promotion from the company. If you've got your 100 points consistently of eating, come and join us on the next marathon. It really is really separate from our team communication, which is upgrade to next level, 500 Club, first time supervisor creation. And then our philosophy for the year is, it's really nice to kiss. It's really good to kiss. So for us, 2022 is all about keeping it simple and stupid, because that is duplicatable. And we keep Mark Hughes at the forefront. For us, PCX into our personal volume has really helped us to have, it's almost like a more transcendental leadership style. We just love everyone because they are customers first. And those who wish to help other people go onto the journey to become supervisor and so forth. But what we want to leave you with tonight is this. It's really, we can sit here and give you training, and we can sit here and give you tips and success tips. But at the end of the day, we want to bring you right back to where we started, is you need to decide what kind of a life you really want. And then you really actually have to say no to everything else. So yes, Mark Hughes has a training where he says, I've seen them get there in 2 years. I've seen them get there in 17 years. Well, I haven't got there in 20 years, but boy, we've got there because we've got the life that we want. We are enjoying the flowers on our journey, and we are going to get to all the levels. We are, but we are enjoying the journey while we travel. And this we wish for each and every one of you. So hopefully we stuck closely. Yes, we stuck to our time as promised. And Lauren or Isabel, back to you. And if there are any questions, if time allows, we are open to any questions.
Absolutely, absolutely incredible. So everybody do a huge thank you to Susara and to Marco. I can't tell you, I've got 2 pages of notes, Susara. So from me, thank you so much. You learn when you set the intention to come to a call, to take notes and to learn, you delivered value. I mean, I think everybody on the call tonight will actually say they learned so much. So thanks again from the bottom of our heart. So many nuggets, so much learning. And for the rest of the team, the guys on the call, this is why we get onto these 500 Club calls, to have guests like Marco and Susara. So if you just guys, just think about this, the vision, 100 PCX, doing 100 volume, 10,000 points. What about 5K Club? No, we go 10,000 points. Sorry, Susara. That's just such a simple way. If you want to do 10,000 points, just adopt Susara and Marco's vision. 100 PCX, 100 points, sorted. So thank you. If there are any questions, just pop them in the chat box for us while we just close the call with the next couple of promotions. So for me, Our next supervisor school is with somebody who is Susara and Marco full-time in the business, somebody who is actually one of the top volume producers in the LWG organization. She's from the Netherlands. She's a very, very part-time. I mean, she's really, really, we actually tried to get her on the call one evening, and she was just so busy. So I know, again, this is the call that I'm going to be